What's up, everybody? This is the story of when we went to Seattle, Washington, filmed with the travel guru himself, saw Mount Rainier, and I think that's at Palm Tree. Anyways, producer Artemis Jakowski and I went down and met up with the rest of the crew. The most exciting thing was our conversation with Rick. We talked about Cuba, we talked about travel as a political act, and as always, we talked about dreaming. So check it out. This is a couple of hours with Rick Steves.
We've got sunshine coming in, and we can walk to everything we want in this little town.
I first wanted to connect with Rick because he has such a passion for travel, and not just sitting on a beach, but getting to know people, culture, how they live, and what does that tell us about their societies. And then bringing these stories back, telling his friends, and eventually, in the case of Europe, producing over 400 hours of TV.
I live here because I belong here. I wouldn't live in Cuba. I like living in America.
It seems you like Edmonds quite a bit, even.
I've been on this street. I can look out down the street and see my junior high school. I know where my home is.
Rick's beat is Europe, and he's basically created a blanket of filmmaking across the continent to the point where he's got a half-hour show for every town and city in Europe.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves, back with more of the best of Europe. Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Hi, I'm Rick Steves.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves.
After more than 2 decades of working in Europe, with the TV show, with the radio show, and with his books, Rick is teaching what he's learned through travel, and not just the logistics, but the stories, the people, the culture too.
When I cross the border and people ask me what's my occupation, I say teacher.
You can travel to realize the world's not a pyramid with the United States on top and everybody else trying to figure it out.
We were just together for a couple of hours, but I'm so inspired by Rick's personal journey and his story. You must know this town like the back of your hand, huh?
I know it pretty well, yeah. I travel a lot, but I always come home. So, get it this way.
And you did piano and travel ever come hand in hand for you, or were they separate paths?
This is when it was originally a piano studio. And then I started teaching travel classes in my recital hall. And then I decided I got to either teach piano or teach travel, and I decided to teach travel. So that was a good move.
You still play at all?
Oh yeah, I love
Awesome.
to play, yeah.
All right, enough walking around. It was so fun filming with Rick because he's such a pro in production environments and has spent so much time on both sides of the camera that he was practically running the interview.
I go south to get out of my comfort zone, to talk with people who have a whole different reality than I do. And I do that with the help of a local guide. So I had a local guide in El Salvador and in Nicaragua, and I had a wonderful local guide in Cuba. And that way, I got to go into the markets and really connect. I got to walk around after midnight in a big city like Havana and understand what's happening. I found when I was in Cuba with people that looked dangerous. They looked dangerous to me because I'm a comfortable, privileged person in the rich world. And what they were was not dangerous, but poor. But they weren't dangerous. And that to me was a real eye-opener. I could walk the streets of Havana in a rough barrio after midnight with my family and feel completely safe. You can't do that in Washington, D.C. You can't do that in Chicago. You can do it in Havana. It's confusing what's legal, what's not when it comes to an American going to Cuba. I personally have a problem whenever my government says I can't go someplace. There's got to be a good reason, and there's no reason I can't go to Cuba. I usually turn it around when I'm trying to legalize marijuana. I say the government has no business telling me where I can go, whether it's Cuba or go somewhere by getting high. And high is a place. Cuba's a place. You know, I want to go there. I'm a travel writer. That's a different show.
Right.
Okay, we all had a good laugh at that one, but it shows that Rick takes civic responsibility as a citizen, whether it's for marijuana reform, housing issues, climate change, or just bringing new perspectives about travel.
So just being conscious of time, maybe we could walk downstairs and
Let's do that.
Okay. So I do want to show you this short VR piece, and it's basically just two 1-minute mini short films. The first one is actually a tour. You might have gone when you went to Cuba, but it's like a little tour through the tunnels from the Cuban Missile Crisis behind the Hotel Nacional. And then the second one is of these two women entrepreneurs who are really leading in Cuba, Clandestina, that became Cuba's first private fashion brand. And the short film, you'll see, they became the first Cuban brand to do a pop-up in the United States. So they came to Brooklyn and they looked around, and there were all these hipsters into eco-clothing, and they were like, oh, that's familiar to us, but more because we had to do it that way, not because it's cool.
Estamos aquí en Brooklyn, estamos haciendo un pop-up por un mes. Todo lo reciclamos, todo lo intentamos reusar. Llegar aquí y ver que eso es como trendy y que la gente lo hace porque es cool y es moderno. Es gracioso porque para nosotros es simplemente el único camino posible.
With these conversations, with VR, we're making connections that haven't happened before.
Okay.
Have you ever done VR before?
So this is going to take me to Cuba? Is this legal to go to Cuba? Don't tell anybody I'm doing this. I might like it. My dream for Cuba is to be able to be free to develop in the experimental way it wants to. It's the natural flow of Cuban culture to have a collective approach to each other.
To chat for 2 hours and dream together, that's kind of the point of this project, is collective dreaming, was such a joy. What's up, nerds? If you made it to the end of the video, thank you. Shout out to the crew and Rick Steves and his crew that made this possible. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Peace.